1 in 3 children are overweight or obese. We visit a successful free scheme in Bedfordshire helping children lose weight and ask why so few families are taking up the offer.
I think the reason it's so frustrating is because we know we've got a great product, and we know when families come on, they absolutely love it and they get so much out of it. It's just we can't get them in the door.
In 10 weeks, the NHS undergoes its biggest ever reorganisation. Find out what it will mean for you.
This is what the biggest shake-up in the history of the NHS is all about. Giving local doctors, nurses and patients the chance to call the shots and shop around for the best care.
And goodbye to a great British brand that dressed screen idols and political leaders for 160 years as it closes its doors in Northamptonshire.
We didn't only reach our target, we exceeded it by 500 units. You know, it was like, wow, God, you know, we've done it. We've turned this factory around. You know, and we've done it by hard work. That's what we did. And we didn't even get paid for it. You know, I mean, how stupid were we?
They're the stories that matter here in the East. Tonight, Inside Out is in Bedford. Hello, this week we're focusing on health with a special look forward to what the new NHS will mean for us. But first, obesity is costing the NHS more than £4 billion a year. And more children are now either overweight or, more worryingly, obese. Well, I joined families on a scheme which is run here in Bedford, which is proving very successful with young people. But I also wanted to find out why so few are taking up the offer of a place. This is the Agini family from Bedford. Mum and 11-year-old daughter Tenny are taking part in a health awareness course aimed at helping those who are overweight. They're grabbing a quick meal before going out for the next session. Now, I know that obviously tonight you're in a bit of a rush, you know, making sandwiches, but what kind of thing would you normally have in the evening for a meal?
On the working day, I tend to sort of like make sure I cook rice in the morning so that when they come back, they don't have to sort of like eat late. They eat it with sauce, which is consists of tomato, onion, red pepper, and a bit of chili pepper.
Although the family try to eat well, Tenny admits she can't resist snacking on less healthy food like biscuits and crisps.
They usually get home before me. When they get home, instead of them, even when they've ready-made food in the fridge or freezer, instead of them to go and warm it up and eat it, they tend to snack a lot.
Tenny, you're going for the snacks, are you? You know, mum and dad aren't here, you think, right, OK, I'm going for the biscuits. Is that what happens with you?
Sometimes, yeah. Most times.
When you have it, do you feel that's an easy food to have? Is that why you go for it?
Yeah, because it's just there. It's like, you don't have to sit down and make it.
And what does your mum say if she knows that you've been snacking when she comes home from work? What does she say to you?
She doesn't know.
Oh right, so you keep this quiet. So we've just spilled the beans. We've just unleashed a family secret. So you're coming from school, and Mum, you don't know what's going on half the time.
No.
Weight problems cost the NHS a staggering £4 billion a year. Official figures for children are depressing. Across the East, over a third of 10 and 11-year-olds are either overweight or obese.
You know, you see them walking down the high street and stuff, and you just think to yourself...
Bedfordshire Health Service runs special weight awareness courses. They're targeted at whole families. The courses aim to get people not just to change what they eat, but to lead a healthier lifestyle as well. Stuart King runs the BeeZee Bodies programme. So who's the course aimed at, and what's it about?
Well, tonight's about the 7 to 11-year-olds and their families who are overweight. So tonight we'll be doing lots of different nutrition stuff, and we'll be doing healthy eating, pizzas for example, and we'll be playing tennis with them with a local coach, and then there'll be some parent-only sessions, so I'll spend a bit of time with the parents alone with one of the lecturers from the local university.
Why do we need to kind of deal with obesity? Is it that much of a problem?
Well, really, I mean, there's the obvious issue of the cost to the NHS, and that needs addressing because there's obvious issues with the financial state of the NHS. But more importantly, for me and for BeeZee Bodies, it's the experiences of the families. There's lots of lots of stigmatism that goes along with weight nowadays, and really we wanted to try and help people be happy and healthy.
Hope everyone's all right. We're going to have a great session tonight. As you can see, I know everyone's getting a little bit excited.
Part of tonight's BeeZee Bodies course is teaching children how to make healthy pizza. All the youngsters, including Tenny Agini, have been sent along by either their GPs or school nurse.
It's exactly the same price as normal cheese, the grated one, and it's got 30% less fat. So that's what you're going to be using today, and that's what's going to make them much more healthy than normal pizza.
All children are now weighed when they start school. It means there are very accurate figures on obesity. The problem is that of the roughly 10,000 overweight youngsters who live in Bedfordshire and are eligible for courses like this one, less than 1% take up the offer of a place. Obviously you're running this course to help people, but you've got such a low take-up. Hardly anyone's coming to the course. Does that frustrate you?
It is quite frustrating, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of effort goes into getting the courses up and running, you know, from getting the funding right up to sort of the organisation and then recruiting the families onto the programme. And I think the reason it's so frustrating is because we know we've got a great product, and we know when families come on, they absolutely love it and they get so much out of it. It's just we can't get them in the door.
It's a similar story across our region. The take-up for courses like BeeZee Bodies is very low. But if it's now relatively straightforward to identify those with weight problems, why are so few people taking advantage of the help on offer? I've come to meet Craig Lister, a public health manager for Bedfordshire NHS, to try to find out why.
I don't think the take-up is any worse in Bedfordshire than anywhere else in the country. So some of our programmes get very high levels of take-up, but particularly in some areas we have this low uptake of children going into the weight management programmes. I think there's two main reasons for that. One is that most parents of obese children can't recognise that their children are obese. Visually they can't recognise that. And the other reason is there's a lot of stigma attached to saying, actually my child's obese, can you help me? Because certain aspects of the media have portrayed obesity as being due to laziness, you know, gluttony, if you like, and parents are labelled as being bad parents, even abusive parents in some cases of the media, if their children are obese. So to say, yes, my child is obese and can you help me, is a huge step to ask parents to take.
Bedfordshire spends £270,000 a year on obesity prevention programmes. All families with overweight children are contacted and invited to join the BeeZee Bodies course. GPs are also given training in how best to encourage families to take part.
How is it? Is it good? So girls, are you gonna make these at home? Yeah? Yeah.
If you're only getting 1% take-up, does that mean you're failing at your job?
No, I don't think so, because there's two components, isn't there? There's the uptake and there's the outcome. Now, the outcome has been improving year on year for us with our programmes. And if you look at the National Child Measurement Programme results, this year they've just been released and we've seen a further reduction in Bedfordshire, so less children who are obese. So that's very positive, and we're better than the East of England and the England average. So that component is working. It works far better if they're closer to capacity because there's more of a dynamic, people have even more fun on them. So we need to encourage more people to come through the programmes, and in some areas the uptake is really good. It's just that in these certain areas it's more challenging for us, so we have to put more effort into that.
Back at the BeeZee Bodies course, the low-fat pizzas have been eaten, and it's now time to run off some calories with the encouragement of some sporting activity.
I think that we're offering what people need and what people really enjoy when they come, because if it wasn't what people wanted, then they wouldn't stay. Our retention rate is over 90%, which is very, very good over 7 years with this type of programme. The difficulty is that there's a massive, massive stigma attached to this area in the country, and so we're not getting people come onto the programme because there's so many things that they're worried about with regard to, their friends judging them, with regard to what families think about them coming on and stuff like that. So I think we're offering a great product, and I know that I'm confident in that. I just don't know how to crack the problem of getting people here.
It's been estimated that weight problems cost the Bedfordshire health economy around £110 million a year. Costs can include buying larger desks in schools and even bigger ambulances. That's why initiatives like the one in Bedford are seen as being so vital. It's been about 6 weeks since I last saw the Agini family. I was keen to find out if things had changed for them since starting on the BeeZee Bodies course. Are you seeing a real change in the way your family eats now?
Yes, I have. Yeah, especially Tenny. She's eating healthy now. She's cut down on some of snack. You know, like when she comes back from school now, she stopped snacking on biscuits and sweets.
I'm sorry to say this in front of you, Tenny, but do you believe her? Do you believe she's not devastated?
Yeah.
But you have changed the way you...
Honest, so she's... if she does, she'll tell me.
Most of the time. Don't laugh. Now, it's always great to hear from you. So if there's something you think we should be doing a story about here on the programme, send me an email, david.whiteley@bbc.co.uk. You're watching Inside Out East, still to come. Aquascutum